There's a notification come.
Alright,
Cool.
Let's not push this to times to
There we go.
Yeah, for real.
What's that?
I'm gonna steak out.
So let's not push this to times we don't need to.
Huh?
What doesn't need?
That's Craig, man.
Ah, man. Come on, like, you don't talk. You and Darren have their conversations that take long. That is cheeky, innit?
It is.
No, I don't know. I always have to tell Craig, listen, it's time. Always have to tell him.
After you finish
you
your
guys
long
speak for
sentence.
an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, get out. Get out.
Right.
So we're just looking at salons and the cards.
I'm happy.
Huh?
I'm happy.
You are or not?
I am.
I'm happy with that, definitely. It's what we need.
It's not madness, though.
No, it's not madness. For
It could be
But
construed as
how
madness
he
money.
was going on this season,
Yeah.
he was a problem.
Who?
Salah. He's the kind of pace and threat that I wanted.
Yeah, we ain't tied nobody.
Getting Griezmann next year.
But the thing about it is though, he's got a
Release clause, but I think they're saying that he's the
Sizer, big up Sizer.
Injury
I was about to say,
Yo, cuz.
I was about to say, let us know
they
if
think
we're live or
Ibra's
not.
injury is worse than what they thought it was, so they need to get a central striker now.
I was saying.
Alright, listen, we can get controllers too. Let's just get
Oh, that's what the Ibra thing was.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm up to the madness.
There's a few things that say that.
Yeah.
Van Dijk is on.
Alright, cool. You know you're live. Yes, Dion, we know we're live. We're just kind of settling in, you know. It is what it is, man. It's just a very relaxed episode. Sun's out. You know what I'm saying? It's all talking football. Alright, listen, let's get the show going anyway.
We're doing this.
Yeah, grown ups men in the building, make some noise! Nice. Hey, Rakes, talk to us, man. What's going on today, yeah? Is it a special occasion? Sun's out, yeah, so you're dressing for the occasion?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Say no more.
My flowery tie on and all of that, you know.
Floral.
Flowery. Same thing, man. Same
Looking
thing.
like fresh potpourri out here, bro. Like. Alright, cool. Listen. Yeah, obviously, we've got a good showing on for you guys today. It's an important show. It's one that I want everyone to kind of get involved in because it's about our community. But before we kind of delve into that, let's introduce who we got inside, starting all the way from my right.
Yeah, you know who it is, the Pan-African, aka Dwayne.
Yo, what's going on? It's Rakes.
What's going on, Mr. D, Darren?
And obviously you got myself, the host, Devil's Advocate, you know what it is already. Right, the show for today is, let me just bring it back up so I can read it good. Right, we wanted to talk on a few topics. One is the knife, parents taking responsibility for their children. I think we're talking about us being responsible for stereotypes and the way that they're portrayed. We're going to be talking about Channel 5 Inside Gangs, I think it was, which was season 2, Inside Gangs London, but only focused on certain things. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that as well. And also as well, Dwayne was involved in a meeting that I want him to touch on very, very quickly, D, in regards to getting people to talk about the team, because I don't know what it is.
Basically, a few of us gathered in Downham yesterday evening. We were basically discussing how we can get out into the community and actually help the kids ourselves. It's all well and good sitting and talking about it, but we're trying to get out into the schools and tackle some of these problems before they get to teenage stage, and we then got to try and cure a problem. If we can get there first and prevent it from happening, then obviously that will have a better, have our kids in a better position. So what we're trying to do is build a little community between ourselves, a network, yeah, and we're just trying to go through that way basically. We're going to try and meet on a monthly basis to make sure that we keep things at. It was good turnout yesterday, and I think again meeting quite a few people who are like-minded who are trying to get out there for the right reasons.
It was a productive meeting. You know, there was probably about over 20 people there, but like Dwayne said, like-minded people. Everyone's thinking on the same page. Everyone's, you know, we were there to kind of identify what the issues are, but also come up with solutions on how we can change the mindset of a lot of these kids. I went in with the mentality that if you're 13, 14 and you're already in that, you're doomed. You know, and I don't think the meeting that much. A little more optimistic.
13, 14, this old that's way too young to even be.
And
But 13,
listen,
14, these
what-
people ain't even left school yet.
For
I don't
me,
think it's
for me,
over 30.
once these kids are fully involved in it, they're gone. Like there's no change in the mentality of don't be obsessed with money anymore. Because everyone always says, well, what you need to do, you need to have more things for kids to do. You need to have like football. You need to have youth clubs and whatever. Once you've shown a 14-year-old how to make quick money, you need to get him off that. You need to show him another way to make money. And unless you can do that, it's very hard to take them away from that lifestyle.
All right, fair enough. But we was talking about prevention being better than cure. How does it cross the line from when do you lose that child? Because you're saying if they're 13, 14, then they're gone. How are we losing these children to the streets?
There's a lot of reasons, Craig. I think part of the reasons that I think some of the means have touched on is parents' responsibility to guide these children. I think a lot of parents do the thing where if they're not hearing back from schools, then their child's doing okay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not hearing from the school that their child's not doing their work or anything. So as far as they're concerned, everything's fine. They're not then concerned that their child's spending 3-4 hours on the street before they get home. Now, do you know how often I'm on the road? Not like that. But how often I'll be coming back from somewhere and I see kids in their uniform at 6:30, 7. That shouldn't be happening. You should have been home already.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
definitely. And I think another interesting point is that I hear a lot of the cliche sayings where people are saying, there's no more youth clubs, there's no more things for children to do. There are a lot of people now who are trying to start up things, who are interested, because it's got to such like serious times. There are a lot of like-minded people who are setting up little shops here and there for children. You've just got to go out there and be active and search and find these things that are available out there.
And that's down to parents.
Right, exactly.
Parents have to find out what
Exactly.
these things are and either encourage or push their kids into them.
Exactly.
Let me just read out a couple of comments, right? JW said, shout out, listen, JW. He puts it on there, JW, but this is WJ Silver, author, got a book out there, Destination or Destiny. Big him up as well. I'm currently reading that as well. Yeah, we definitely support that.
I'll support that.
Yeah, we don't want to go off track as well. But he's just said, I agree. I've been working with these young people for years. They're starting as young as 9 nowadays. You know how scary that is. Like, them man can't even form sentence properly, and they're out there doing this thing. But and we've got here, Shah Music has said, Marlon's right. I'm prepping a project later this year myself. You need to get to them before they're 12 years old. This is crazy. Maybe I'm out of touch.
School.
But the thing about secondary school is the key.
You got to remember when we did that show with that guy and he was talking about getting kids to trap and all of that. He was talking about when they go to secondary school. If you don't have their mind right for when they go into secondary school, then that's when you're losing them, because that's when they start to get heavily influenced by others around them. If you need to get their mind right before they hit secondary school. Get them looking at things in a different way, because if they go in and you've just allowed your kid to go to secondary school and allow them to get influenced, and you ain't shown them another way to be and like have influences outside of football and music, then you lost them. Like,
It's like anything. It's like, for me, having children, I've always made sure, like, stamp my not I won't even say authority, but the way how I want my children to be grown, and the way how I want to raise my children, I'm trying to stamp that on them from early doors, before you even, like, when you learn to talk, please, thank you. Everything is a process.
Yeah.
You can't expect to allow a child to grow for 12 years and then when they're doing something wrong, then try and correct it then, because then you've just got 12 years catch up, and it's a madness.
And I think that was a few people were touching on yesterday. A lot happens that, so you get kids at home where they may be at home and it seems fine at home, and the reason why it seems fine is they're not being told no for nothing. So if they want something, they get it. And then when they go into a school setting, there's a structure and they don't know how to fit into a structure. They then become a labelled child that isn't able to behave, and it's not the child's fault here. It's because the parent hasn't given it boundaries and structures.
And again, I don't want to go on to things that we've kind of delved onto before, because I think we've done a show on bad parenting and bad kids or something along those lines. Anyway, yeah, check that one out. But at the same but at the same time, are we blaming this all on the parents?
No,
or
it's
are
not.
we saying
No.
our children are product of their environment? I'm very aware as well that, for example, and again, I'm going to try and link it with the Channel 5 show and what they kind of project out there as what these young black guys are doing. Why can't we get publicity for the positive as much as the negative? And when it's the negative, it's only us. Do you understand what I mean?
Problem with that, Craig, yeah? You put something positive out there, people don't want to watch it. Yeah? People do not want to watch it. Yesterday there was a guy down there talking about how he wants to show like what positive people do, and he spoke to a few people and they said, well, who will want to watch that? And that generally is the attitude across the board.
Yeah.
It isn't entertainment.
The thing about it is,
that's true.
like all across the board, it's not just for us, but all across the board, negativity and controversy sells TV, papers, rah. But it's down to us, parents, a community, to say, all right, you know what, there is a huge problem going on. Like, if this continues, in the next 20, 30 years, there's going to be a whole generation of people wiped out. Do you know what I mean? So we have a responsibility and a duty to say, okay, cool. The system or whatever it might be might not be treating us how we want to be treated, but we are going to be doing things for ourselves. And that starts with the children from early.
Let me just make a point. Right. This is the raw facts of it. Yeah. We do a show, Grown Ass Men. Yeah. It's what we're doing today is something positive. We're talking about we need to do this, that, and the other. If I was to do a show today on relationships, who fucks this person better than that person I've been told I swear too much as well. Who has sex with this person this way and who does it that way? Do you know how many people would tune in? Yeah? This is something that's real and it's happening. I don't even come across like a preacher. I ain't that guy, trust me. Yeah, but we do something that's real and we do something that's positive. And I can guarantee you, not to say that, and shout out to everyone who's watching, no, I'm not disrespecting anyone who's not. But unfortunately, positivity falls on deaf ears. Entertainment is what attracts.
And the thing is, I don't think we should be trying to overturn that, because that's never going to happen. That's just the way of the human race. But what we need to do is not get disheartened by the fact that controversy sells more than positivity, and keep plugging the positivity. Keep plugging the positivity. Because like I said, there are so many people now who are awoken. Do you know what I mean? And who are into betterment for that lost generation.
Let me get some comments as well. Right, Sizer. Too much parents or too many parents depend on schools, music, and TV to raise their children. Not enough communication with their children. 100% agree.
I agree.
JW, the elders are to blame as well, putting the youths on road and giving them access to weapons, etc. Again, 100% agreed on that. But then it comes to the point of talking, well, how do you stop that now? How do you control that? Because the only way you can control that, in my opinion, is the access to your child. Do you understand what I mean? Once they're older, once they've kind of gone across that step and they're out there, they're going to be exposed to that. And these oldest, especially from the show I watched, and I watched the first show. I was planning to watch. There was 2 shows. I planned to watch both of them. I watched the first one. I was just like, this is some bollocks. It honestly, it really is bollocks. And the reason why I say that, not because I'm going to be jumping on this whole Channel 5, I don't want black people to be shown in negative light. No, we're fucking up ourselves. Fair enough. But I want it to be an even playing field. Yeah? You're going to call it Gangs of London. I've gone off on the tangent, I know I have. But if you're going to call it Gangs of London, you can't tell me that London is only full of black people. Yeah, and the only gangs are black people. You know, so there's these things that are just being plugged into people's heads. And what it does is that it stops opportunities, because these other people who are watching it, the people who are giving out jobs, and instantly it's a young black guy. Oh, he might have his hair cut in that way. Oh, he might walk with it. You understand what I mean? And
it increases the stereotype and the character profiling.
But for me, like I said, it starts from early. Because for me, like, all right, I think back to when we were in school.
Yeah.
We all had the opportunity to go down that route. But it's not a coincidence that none of us ever did. Do you know what I mean? And we're all coming from the same kind of background, the same kind of upbringing. Obviously not exactly the same, but the same kind of upbringing. What the values of our parents. Do you know what I mean? And when we fared actually going against us. For me, I can only speak for myself, but for me, I was more afraid of what would happen to me if I was to go home, act in a fool, and work it back to my mum, my dad, or my grandparents. I was terrified of that. So for that reason, I diverted. When man them was doing their thing, cool. I'm going that way. Do you know what I mean?
But you know, I'll tell you what's interesting for me is obviously I've got a 14-year-old. You know how weird that sounds. Like. I've got a 14-year-old, and whilst that was the case for me in terms of, you know, it was the fear and everything. I'm not saying he don't fear me. I mean, look. But at the same time, I think we're in a generation now where the communication lines are better. My communication with my son is better than my communication was with my dad. So,
Cool. So then let me ask a question. And this is just a question. I don't just know an answer to it. The communication lines are better, but some people could argue and then say, well, the parenting techniques back then kind of helped to protect children more because there was more of a healthy fear of their parents.
But I suppose the proof is in the pudding. It's in how that individual comes out. Do you understand what I mean? As to whether what's better and what's not.
You can have a fear there.
And horses for courses as well.
Yeah. Everyone is different.
You can have a fear there and there, but at the same time, respect can also be just as good as that healthy fear. Just I mean.
I think that's what it is. You know, it's a respect thing. I don't, for example, if I need him to do something or he's messed up or something, I know how to get through to him to get the reaction that I want, and it doesn't have to involve shouting, screaming, hitting or punching. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Don't
get me wrong. I'm not saying when I say I said a healthy fear. Not,
I understand what you're saying.
You know. And I still believe to this day that children should have that healthy fear. But I do agree, respect is a huge thing. If you don't respect your parents, then you're not going to want to walk in there.
But even with what I'm saying, there's a health. He won't step out looking down. He knows that. You know what I'm saying? But do you understand what I mean? There's that respect. We would never come to that because there is that respect there, and I think that's what it is. Let me read out a couple more comments. It's warm in there. Right. Char Music has said, sorry, let me go to this one first. Dion said, one, there are positive things that are out there, but people identify more with the negative. Latch onto it and run with it. That's 100% true. Char Music has said, I agree, JW. Those kids respect the elders who are only 3 or 4 years older than them. Yeah. The bigger the age gap, the less they listen. The bigger the age gap, the less they... How do you mean?
Okay, I understand. The older the person is, the less the likely.
Okay, right. Yeah, cool.
They relate more to a relatable age.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Very true.
That is,
Which it shouldn't be, because back in the day, the older the person was, the more likely...
But you have to remember, even in school, let's just say, for example, you man probably didn't go there, but when you go out with girls in older years and stuff. But listen, now what I'm trying to say is that year in school, that's a big gap.
It's huge, yeah.
You know what I mean? You come out of school, you go into college and you move on in life, a year is absolutely nothing. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean? And I think it's the same in that respect as well. It's like, there's those people who are 2 or 3 years older, it's like, you hear, younger bigs and all this.
We touched on that yesterday. We've sat and gone through that transition. Because when we was in school, there wasn't no such thing. And as we got older, you got the younger, then you got the younger, then you got the tiny. Do you know what I mean? We've watched the evolution of the gangs. Yeah. And I think obviously it's getting worse and it's getting worse. We've gone from rushing, we've seen the bottling, to the knife, to the gun. We've seen the whole transitional period.
Yeah. It's nuts. Let me read out a couple more. JW said Batman. I'm gonna guess that wasn't related to something.
Batman.
Just Batman.
Okay.
I don't know. Like again, these guys might be talking to each other as well, so I might be missing out. Right, Sazu said you're right, but that being said, if you become your child's role model, he or she will not need to look up elders for guidance. You teach him/her to identify and stay clear of them. 100% agree.
The problem with that it's all well and good saying I'll become your child's role model. There are many people who are making the mistake of sleeping with the wrong people, having to sleep with the wrong people.
Jesus.
Yeah? It's a reality, Craig, and I think we don't take enough responsibility for who we are sleeping with and who we are having kids with. And that is part of the problem. So you become a single dad or a single mum, you didn't take responsibility in who you chose to. Sometimes it's unfortunate and the circumstances break down, but there are many times where they've slept with the wrong person. Just what I mean? And they're then haven't got a role model to look at, and the parent on this side doesn't provide them. Not in all cases, but just I mean, they don't provide. It's like they expect the dad to do it. If the dad's not doing it, then there isn't one for that child to follow. It's only on a rare occasion you get more of the uncles will come in and play that role.
I get you. I listen. I can't say what you're saying is wrong. Like I'm not saying that at all. But we just look at how we are, and we're not perfect people. Like, listen, check my record. I ain't perfect, yeah. But morally, we are all correct, yeah. So let's just say, for example, I had sex with someone, the wrong person, and she ended up having a baby.
You're not bouncing.
Yeah, do you understand what I mean? Yeah. I'm not bouncing. I'm that child's not going to lose a wrong.
You are, but there are men that think opposite to that, and women know this. Yeah, and it doesn't deter them from sleeping with that person. Does that mean you've got gangsters that trap and kill people, and women still want to be with them? They know what they're about, but they still want to be with them.
Yeah, that's that negativity, that controversy again, that attracts people to that. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. For me, I like to focus more on the children and like you say, the prevention.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think like. We're leaving it too much, and this has been said already. We're leaving it too much to the outside influences. You can never prevent all outside influences. You can never. But we have, as a family, as parents, as carers, whatever it may be, like you have the opportunity to influence your child. And also for me, I'm not looking for my child to be out on road. Like as soon as your school's finished, I want you to be in extracurricular activities where you're going to classes, you're going to piano lessons, you're going to learn another language, you're going to all of these kind of things which are keeping you busy. So your focus is not anywhere else apart from, do you know what? I'm learning, I'm developing.
But this is my point. Whilst that is brilliant and excellent in mind, what makes that piano attractive? Because it's the lure. Do you understand what I mean? I know you're putting them into it and all of that, but
once again,
football's attractive, for example, because you know there's going to be money. You're on TV.
No, but why is football? But kids shouldn't know that.
No, but once again,
kids shouldn't be encouraged about football due to money.
No, but once again, football is not attractive to them.
They're fully aware.
No, football's not attractive to them because of money initially.
At 4 and 5,
it's the love of football.
It's the love of football, and it's a learned behaviour. So if you're showing them a piano from 5, then when they're 12, a piano is going to be attractive because it's what they know. It's like when you feed a child sugar from early, they're not going to turn around and eat vegetables because it's what they've been eating for years. If you feed a child vegetable from 2, 3, when they're and you continue when they're 12, they're eating that because that's all that they know.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to say, and I think the point is we're talking about the outside influences. Football's everywhere, for example. You can't get away from it. Do you understand what I mean? The piano is something that I don't want to say full speed like it's a negative, but you're gonna have to make sure that you're properly channeling that child.
Yeah, that's the responsibility of the parent.
Yeah, but remember, like I say, I'm just trying to relate because like I feel about my kid goes to school and stuff like that. They talk about wrestling. I'm trying to get him out of the wrestling and not make him watch the wrestling. They go talk about wrestling every single day. Do you understand what I mean? Those are the influences that are gonna shape them into what they want to do as well.
So then I'll ask you, what is the difference?
Nothing against pianos, by the way. No. Like, serious.
What's the difference between that child and his successful counterpart in terms of the child that is learning a different language, a child that is playing the piano? The only difference is that has been instilled in the child from young. If you look at people who, all right, it's a different background, different upbringing, but those people who got children who are going to private school.
Yeah.
Remember, every child is born the same, really and truly, in terms of they don't know nothing, innit? It's a blank canvas.
Yeah.
So use that blank canvas. Don't. I think we just, it's too easy for us to say, well, they go to school and there's outside influence and yeah, cool. Like I said, you can never ever prevent all outside influences. However, start from young, and there's a greater chance of influencing your child and steering your child away from the negativity, in my opinion.
And I agree with that because generally, when you're raising your children want to be like you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for me, if you keep playing that role, then that should keep them, unless you're doing the wrong thing, that should keep them away from those things because they want to impress you and be like you. It's when you're not there, then they're not going to be like you. They want to be like somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's where the problems start coming in.
All right, how do we break down the impressions of stereotypes, or how do we fight against the stereotypes that we have created or been given? Are they deserved? Are they not?
I think too many kids are materialistic from early ages nowadays. Like, I hate to say that, you know, my son wants Jordans and he wants Hirachis and so on. Like, I don't think that should be, like, he shouldn't have that mentality at 8.
You did.
But then, bro, then we have to look at ourselves.
You didn't want high tech, bro. You wanted Nikes.
Nobody wants high tech.
I don't think at 8. I don't think I was.
No.
You did not want high tech.
I honestly don't think at 8 I was like that.
Direct.
Come on, bro.
You did not want high tech.
Be honest.
No.
The fact, listen, like I said, it's learned behaviour. Children they're not born wanting Jordans and whatnot.
No, and I have to accept
So
responsibility.
what is it he
for that.
wants?
He wants Jordans and Hirachis and and
Have you ever had any
apart
Jordans
from
or
that,
Hirachis? Just question.
I had Hirachis after my son.
Where is that? Where is that?
And I say it. I had Hirachis
So he's seen you with Hirachis
after he had them.
afterwards.
After he had them.
But he has seen you with them.
You know,
So you've given him 2 minutes.
Yeah,
So
but listen, I'm accepting responsibility for that. But what
I don't
I'm
think
saying,
that's a problem though.
but it is part of the problem. It is part, because that materialistic mindset only grows further.
Yeah.
So if he's like that at 8, like I said, at 12, when you're even more aware of money and more aware of what money can get you.
I don't think that's a materialistic mindset.
got
I
to
just
just-
I
I
think
think
that's,
it is.
to be honest, if it becomes a materialistic mindset in terms of the way he goes about it. So if he's to ask you and throw down and start crying,
Yeah, I agree with
Do you understand what I mean? That
I
the
don't get it.
want for that product is not just materialistic. It's just that he wants that product.
Because
You can't-
everyone else has it. At the end
Yeah,
of the
you
day,
can't say that's-
once he knows that he can't always have something, then you
if
shouldn't
he's,
get a
if
problem.
he's
from it.
accepting of it and he can move on and you can still talk to him, then cool, innit? Like that is what it is in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but the problem does exist though, because as a community we are too materialistic. Like, there are men out there who've got mad cars going into a 1-bedroom flat. Do you know what I mean? Not against anybody who's got 1-bedroom flat, but like, it's priorities, isn't it? Like get yourself
Right.
far in life, and do you know what I mean? So materialism is a big problem within the community. There is no getting away from that.
You shouldn't be driving and you're not paying for your child to do extracurricular like activities and whatever.
Right.
Talking about like you ain't got the money for that, but yet you're driving like whatever series BM like that don't make no sense.
Someone touched on that yesterday. Like, you see that the roadman, they're making a good money, but their children still go to state schools. They're not taking their money and putting those children into private schools.
Yeah,
just what I mean,
100%.
and that in itself is a goddamn problem. It shows where your mindset is at, because you care
Exactly.
about
It's
what
just
you
a-
want, like,
yeah.
But let's not
And
let's not
perception.
go on like it's just roadman.
No,
like,
exactly.
Like there is your average man that just goes and does his 9 to 5 or whatever, and you know, I'm not saying he's balling, but his money may not necessarily be going in the right place. It's not always prioritized, and it's like Dee was saying earlier. It's like if you're not getting letters home and you're not being called in, you think like, okay, that's fine. Like that shouldn't be that shouldn't be like the limits of where your child can go. It should be more than just not getting in trouble.
Education doesn't stop at
It
school.
should be developing them further, and if that's not your priority, what is?
Education don't stop at school.
That's 100% right. Listen, I had to, and I'm not even ashamed or embarrassed. Like I try to, you know, you talk to your son and you want to know about the homework and everything. Listen, I had to do some secret googling because the thing was complicated, to a next level. But at the same time, I was thinking, all right, cool. You know what? I'm not gonna lie, because he's now getting to an age where he's quite smart. He can see like my face will kind of say it. So I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, oh shit, I need to go to the toilet or something. Cool. Go and Google my thing, try and get my mind right. Because sometimes you need a refresher in that. But the point is, it is taking an interest in what your child is doing.
Yeah.
And I've been guilty of not been doing that all the time. Do you understand what I mean? I'm lucky for the fact that one, he's quite switched on, he's quite smart, and he is getting good grades and all of them things. But even his response to me taking interest, it was like, all right, cool, I've got to switch on now. You know what I'm saying? Even just to kind of keep him on his toes, to know that I'm on the case with it, although I didn't know what I was talking about.
I think, just going back to the question at hand in regards to the stereotypes, I think there are certain stereotypes what just fall into kind of like culture, where you shouldn't necessarily be ashamed of certain stereotypes. There are certain stereotypes where there's right and wrong and everything in it, in my opinion. Yeah, and if you know the right and if you stick to the right, then you'll be fine. Like I said, the stereotypes that fall within your culture, which you shouldn't be embarrassed about. Like, I don't know, they might say a yard man wears string vests. That's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's not affecting you in your day-to-day, your productivity. It's not. Do you know what I mean? But if you have the best interest of your child at heart, you should be teaching your child right from wrong, and stereotypes fall within that bracket. The child will know, alright, you know what, like for instance, I know you see a youth on road and he's got a hoodie on road. Not every child wearing a hoodie is bad. Present yourself. Do you know what I mean? If you want to get far in life, if you want to achieve things, then you can't be wearing a hoodie everywhere you go and be looking aggressive and wear. I had a cousin one time and he was like, he's changed now. He was young and he used to wear black all the time. Bruv, a hot day like this, he's wearing black. Hoodie, jogging bottoms.
Where did that come from?
Huh?
Where's it come from?
That's come from what he sees around him. It comes from what he sees around him. And the thing is, he's got an older brother, and that wasn't the case. He doesn't dress like that. But it's what he sees in his social circle. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But he got the guidance, and now he's changed, and now he dresses accordingly.
No, that's a good look, man. And I think that's where it is. We need to start making some changes, isn't it? Really, because obviously, if it's not working out, we've got to change something. Let me just read out a few comments. Right, JW said, "Licks never killed us; it shaped us." Yeah,
I agree.
Shout out to all the man that got licks.
I don't like the idea of doing that though.
Did you get licks?
But it worked for me.
I was torn, but I wouldn't.
Right, you've come out quite a decent guy.
I wouldn't do it to my kids.
Alright. What would you determine? What when you say licks?
Bro, I got licks.
No, but for you,
No, listen.
Would you classify as
licks? I got licks with fucking
Hey,
hoops.
whoa. Listen.
I got it. That's the difference.
I got that work.
Shout out to Mrs. Jones. Right, Dion has said.
No, I got it, bro.
That's just abuse.
You're telling me.
Right, Dion has said. Boy, JW, certain people got more than licks. As much as it never killed them, the Cocos didn't always go out. Listen, shout out to the ones who accidentally hit you too hard. Yeah, hang on. Right, Emma said, those girls sleeping with bad breeds believe that lifestyle is good. They chase the glory and the instant money, never the development and growth of strong foundation for their kids. So true, but. Yeah, man. And you know what it is as well. Like I want to try and get through some of these comments. It's about perception and what we look at and our fickle minds see as success. You understand what I mean? You're driving a nice car and it's clean.
It's the materialism.
Successful. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is that. Right, Emma said, in that instance, I make the mum no better than the whatless father. I think that was the example we gave before, like who's sleeping with you. And that how their child can be influenced by the negativity out there. 100%. You go half of the baby is exactly that. Right, JW said, Dion, I understand that some of the beatings were bad and over the top, but we never had these issues in our generation. I disagree.
We did have them, they just weren't as widespread as what it is now.
But shout out to JW, a bit more experience than us. Yeah? Yeah, sorry about that, mate. So to be honest, I would take the licks and not have to bury the children weekly.
Right.
Do you think that you can?
Yeah, go on.
Do you think you can see from 5 and 6 those troubled children? You think you can see it that early?
Yes. I think in some instances.
So,
what are you saying?
It seems so
It's hard for me to say.
I think you can see it one way, but not the other.
I can see
I
the
think,
bad.
yeah, I could. Listen, I'm not being horrible to kids and all that and saying that you're just. I think there are some bad breed kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
they've become that way.
Yeah.
And when I say bad breed kids, I'm talking about at the age I'm exposed to them. Then you know what I'm saying? I think in a 5 or 6 year old, you can see
trouble in it.
You can see the
For
trouble.
me, like again, we touched on it yesterday. Are taking pencils and juking people with you. Them kind of kids there are. on the wrong path
But
already.
at that age, you can be guided in the right way.
Well, I'm not saying you can't be, but already you're on the wrong path.
Yeah.
When you're that guy taking what's that thing called protractors and shit and juking people.
But why at 5? Why do you have a protractor?
I'm just giving an example. Don't I mean?
But that is down to parents and family to notice them things at 5 and start guiding them right. If you see your 5-year-old constantly juking his older brother with a pencil every 2 minutes, and you just say,
it might not be
it's
constant.
fine, it's only 5, it's only 5.
It doesn't have to be constant. The fact that you've done that is an issue. But what you get generally a lot, what you hear very often, oh, he's a boy. You get that all the time.
But
That's just justification.
Yeah.
It's an easy thing.
that just is an indication that it's bad parenting, in my opinion. Like, children don't get to 5 years old and just be bad. Like, children are bad because they're allowed to be bad. They're not given any
Or what
boundaries.
they're exposed to.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever they see, whatever they're allowed to get away with, not having any boundaries, not having any structure in place, that will happen to children if you just allow them to just run free and be wild. And that's what happens. And unfortunately, there are some parents who don't instill these kind of things in their children.
But this is what I'm saying. I think it's how am I gonna put this? I hate when I can't articulate myself properly. If every generation, let's just say for example, is getting worse, then this is kind of what it is. It's now, we're saying about bad parenting. Those children are having children, so they haven't even been
Parenting properly.
So how can they then demonstrate it? So it's almost like your parents, every parent's just shit now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the kids ain't got a chance.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
and
someone else come again and intervene with it.
And this is the thing, though. The thing is, it's like you said, like Dee said, it's not just one aspect of this discussion. Yeah, in terms of trying to find a resolution, there isn't just one aspect, and it's life, it's technology, like social media is, bro. Sometimes I think to myself, I spend so much time on my phone a day, yeah, on social media, like it's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? But I've already had that foundation, that grounding. These children have had that foundation.
They're growing up with
and they're
social
living their
media
lives
part
on
of it.
social media.
Yeah.
Parents are having to work longer hours now to get enough money to feed and provide for their families. So therefore, they're not able to look after their children. The family unit is not the same anymore. Grandparents are not looking after their children as much as they were. I was raised a lot of the time by my grandparents because my mum was out working. Do you know what I mean? So there's so many factors that's included in this. Yeah, exactly.
You've had your grandma to step in. If your grandma isn't stepping in, you're basically going home and you're providing for the
That's
rest
what
of
I'm
the
saying,
kids.
bro.
And that's what generally would happen.
That's
Then
what I'm saying.
The road
But what I'm saying is, back then, it wasn't such a isolated thing.
Yeah.
Back then, there was more of the family and the community spirit. Now, that seems to be obsolete. It seems to be non-existent.
It's like growing up, I had my nan down the road, I had my cousins down the road, I had my aunt constantly at the house. That don't happen in today's families. Like from what I see, I don't see like the family unit all in say one area and easily accessible and you see them all the time.
You know what? I don't want to go off and into another tangent, but it goes so much deeper than that because the grandparents of this day and age are out working now. Do you understand what I mean?
Exactly.
They're not staying at home. They don't own.
They're not old enough.
They don't own their own houses, and exactly that. They're not old enough. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many different things. Let me read out a couple more.
Still more active than
Yeah. Let me read out a few comments. Right. Dion said, "No, I hear that, JW, but it's now our generation that are raising the kids, so it can't just be that the beating kids is the answer." Shout out to Angie. Parents need to be the main influence from the get-go and get their child into something, but make it fun. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Shout out to Carleen. I hear you, D. Laugh out loud. Don't know what you said, and I don't know which D you're talking about. But listen, it doesn't matter. JW said, yes, you can see. I think that was in relation to the young kids. You said, the young kids. Poor parenting if a 5-year-old is behaving like that. Yeah. Sizer said, exactly. It starts at home with the parents. Sizer said, lack of proper parenting. And it is that. And this is the thing, is that as much as we can be here and we can talk about the issues and raise them, it's like, how do we really make a change? You know what I'm saying? How do we because there are literally people dying every day.
Right.
Like every time I see something in the news now and it's that, but
I personally think, because I was talking with my missus about this the other day, and it's like we say, oh, it's bad parenting. Like, but what's good parenting? Do you know what I mean? What constitutes good parenting? You have to put your child first and foremost in absolute everything. A lot of people parent their children in regards to how convenient it is for them. Do you know what I mean? And you can't do that. Like, if you want the best for your child, like, we know certain things, there's formulas in certain things. If you want the best for your child, yeah, 9 times out of 10, if you go to a private school, they're going to amount to more than a child who goes to state school. Not in every single,
Generally,
yeah, but generally. So if you bust your balls, yeah, work 2-3 jobs, and get your child and put your child through private schooling, you're doing all that you can to ensure that your child has a step up in life, innit?
But are you?
It's catch-22, isn't it?
Because then aren't
2-3
you
jobs.
slightly neglecting your child
Yeah.
by not being around for your child?
Okay, cool.
I heard the point.
And I'm not saying it's wrong, but
No.
And my sister's got a friend just
that
like that.
balance.
Yes, and that's right.
So you can provide them with private school, but then you're neglecting them from parent-child time.
Yeah, very, very true. But when you go to a private school, there's so much more that you learn. There's so much more that you experience. You go away so much more. You go and experience different cultures. You go to different countries and whatnot. I'm not missing the point. So what I'm saying is that the effect that would have, like the neglect on somebody who's going to state school, who is in the ends, who is
It's
just
the same
all
effect,
about.
bruv.
That's not going to be the same effect
It's
because
cool.
it's not, because the people who are going private school are experiencing so much more to life.
But if you're being neglected, you're not going. For example, let's use a woman, for example. Yeah, you're going to a private school. Yeah, your dad ain't there. Your mum's not giving you no love. Now you're seeking love. You're still gonna go and look man.
Yeah.
Same way, you're still gonna go and look man, and you're still gonna get a label for yourself.
Just gonna be
Yeah?
what- you're
My
just
sister
gonna-
has
you're
got
just
a
gonna be
friend,
more
a
cultured
boy,
man, innit?
yeah, a male friend who went to private school. His mum worked his arse off to get him there, and he's a road man. He has no interest in following through with anything.
I'm not like, I can't argue against that, innit? Because I'm not saying there aren't instances where there's an exception to the rule all the time. But all I'm saying to you is that for me, my opinion, if you're putting your child through private school, yeah, you've got better odds of amounting to something. I'm not saying that's always gonna be the case. I'm not saying you're always, if you go to private school, 100% you're guaranteed to be the next prime minister. No, but you're looking to give your child that step up. Yes, you might have to forego some love. And when you said that, I wasn't thinking about like getting no love from mum or dad, because putting your child through private school doesn't mean that it's either or for me. But you might have to
I think it's because the example you said is like two or three jobs.
Yeah.
That's
You
the
ain't
reason
honest.
why.
It's
So that's not a direct reflection
Okay,
on the
cool.
private school.
Okay, cool.
It's weird because I went to private school for 4 or 5 years.
Shouts out to your rich mum still.
No, my mum wasn't rich and my dad weren't rich, but they done exactly that. It was
They
the
went
working
all
how
in.
many jobs, and it was the work how many hours.
Yeah.
So more time for a long period. I didn't see mum. I hate to say I'm lucky because my dad was there. No, I'm not lucky. My dad was there because he was supposed to be there. Do you understand what I mean? So there was no neglecting love. But in terms of the opportunities and what you're exposed to, I have to agree with Dwayne, because whilst you're right in terms of I did experience more, I went away more than I ever did with bloody the school that we all went to. You know what I'm saying? I was still, when I go home, I'm still exposed to the same things. So if there is something missing as such, I'm still going to turn to the same thing as that person who in the state school is going to turn to. Do you understand what I mean? If something was void. So whilst my mind was kind of, remember it's young as well, but whilst the mind is open as such, I don't think that totally takes you away from that thing.
And I wasn't saying it totally takes you away. Do you know what I mean? It's just the better option in my opinion. But it's like I said, the point I was trying to make was just trying to put your child first in it, trying to put your child first in everything that you do, and wanting the betterment of your child in every aspect.
And I think as a parent, I'm speaking for myself, I didn't realise how time consuming it was going to be. Don't get me wrong, I knew I'd have to be a parent, but like,
I do, you know.
I'm going to get to it now. For me, like, hobbies
Yeah,
take up a lot of time. I did not realise how much it was going to take up my time. And if you're someone who can't deal with that, convenience means your child don't get into those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it is very inconvenient. I got on a Tuesday, for example, I'm not home.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I come in and I go straight back out because I've got to take her to her off school activities. Now, if you ain't prepared to do that, then your child just stays home every day.
Yeah.
It's like,
and it costs money. Do you know what I mean?
It's like you look at, and people might say, oh yeah, but that's just you're talking about superstar. Like you look at a man like Lewis Hamilton, and if you read his story, the things that his mum and his dad did for him, like literally they remortgaged their house, they did everything to get him to that place where he had an opportunity. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that's that's good parenting.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
But that's not also to say, I'd look at that and say that's outstanding parenting. You understand? Not to say that, you know, that defines good parenting and that, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things. All right, let me read out a couple of comments. Sizer said, agreed, it's different times, not as much unity today in the family household. I think was what we was talking about before. Carlene has just said, I've just had a baby. She's 2 weeks today. Congratulations, Carlene. And my mum helps me. Good for you. I need to stop doing that. Let me just read out this thing. I have a big family and lucky we are all close. All I know is I have to try and guide her in the right way. Knowledge is power. 100%. And this is the thing, like, you've had a baby and she's 2 weeks, your mum's... It's just like I was just saying about my dad. Should we be surprised by that? Like, that's what's supposed to be happening. Yeah, that's just... That should be the norm, man. Right, Carly's no way. For me, it's about what you teach them at home, right? So everyone's on this thing about, you know, being the main influence. I think that's the point you made earlier. Right, Sizer said exactly my point, Dwayne. Private school is not going to make the child better if the home parenting is broken. Look how Craig turned out. Oh. That's incredible. You get away with that one.
Bad breed.
Anyway, listen, moving on swiftly.
What I don't like here, for example, is how us as a black community have frowned and turned up our noses at Channel 5. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, people are fuming at Channel 5. Them people are just doing their jobs. Listen, yes.
They're doing their job.
Listen, they're not here, to help your children, show them a better way, or nothing. All they're here to do is put someone on the TV for views, something that makes people watch. And guess what? You people go and watch it.
No, but go on.
Hold on, Dave. It's not a level playing field.
Right,
it's not a level playing field. Because if there was an equivalent in terms of shows that was showing other race children doing the same thing, then nobody could say nothing.
Because guess what? They would probably boycott it.
No,
that's the difference. But we want to sit down and watch it and then cuss about it afterwards.
But how do we know? Because it hasn't been tried.
Exactly.
Well, how do we know what?
Look, how do we know how another race would react? Because that's not what they're putting on the TV. Like my whole problem with the show isn't that they've put it out there. You know, yes, that does go on, and sorry to say it, but the guys were stupid for thinking that it was going to be simple enough for you to be recorded doing all this madness, and it was going to be played safe.
Lock up your ass.
But my problem with the show is it's a fact.
How do we know, Riggs? We know because we look at other things where you can see it. You look at the music, you can get away with saying nigga 5,000 times. You think you can go say a honky? You can't say that. It ain't getting aired.
Alright,
yeah, but
don't listen. I don't want you to come away from the point. You said about Channel 5, it was irresponsible. And the reason why I say that is call a spade, yeah? Call it Black Gangs in London. Let me know what it is that I'm going to watch. Yeah. Because it's a misrepresentation and you're throwing it out there and you're portraying something that is not totally true. Totally. That is the problem.
If we don't watch, then the views.
And then I want to see the next show.
It won't be on.
Asian gangs in London. Yeah. Then I want to see the next show. White gangs in London. I want to see them all.
No, but
do you understand what I mean? Because the whole thing, I counted about from the one episode that I watched, one white person was in that show.
And that's just.
And I'm going to assume the narrator was as well.
And that's just to prove that they're not being racist, mate. That's the only reason he's in the damn show.
Yeah, but that what's the one you?
But you're saying
that's what I'm pointing. Is that pointing out my friends, right? That's all it's there for.
D, do you know what? I agree.
Pathetic.
I agree with the premise of what you're saying. Like, we need to own our own shit. I know that we need to own our faults and we need to make the improvements within our community. However, that program in itself, like Craig said, was irresponsible. It was misleading, and it just shined a light on one set of people when there isn't just one
I'm
set of
not
people
disagreeing with
in
that.
the London community.
I'm not disagreeing with that. My thing is, it's there for view. The last time it came on, yeah, people watched. It gave them the views. The man, someone rang. I know it's not a girl who rang. Yeah, he basically said, "Well, we had good views on the last one, and this is why we put it back. If you don't give them the views, they won't put it there."
But were their views? Because most of the people I know didn't watch it.
But this is the thing. I watched it.
But you go on Facebook, you see my thing was flooded.
Listen,
Go on
I watched the
Twitter,
first.
flooded.
I think the first one
Yeah,
that
but
came
a
out
lot of
last
people are
year.
commenting about it,
I watched
but not
that
actually
one.
watching it.
There was 2 episodes. I watched those both. Yeah, it was about the young boy who went wherever. This one, there was so much controversy, and then Dwayne especially, because listen, I ain't gonna lie, Dwayne don't stop. Yeah, so he said boycott the thing, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna boycott the thing. I want to hear that. But I thought we all agreed, but I'm the only one who done it, that we was gonna watch at least one episode because we're gonna talk about it on the show today. So I literally watched it today, and that's the reason why I can say like it was just a load of bullshit. Because at the same time, you know, where we was talking about before about parenting and all of these things, that there's all of these people are under 18 who are said to be under 18, and they're openly speaking of.
And they
should they not have parents? Where's the consent of the parents?
Exactly.
Do you understand what I mean?
But the problem with that is that I don't know if all parents know what they were doing and everything, but there must be some parents that agreed to this and that's the foolish thing about it. Exactly.
But again,
and that mentality is wrong.
But it's them. It's Channel 5 preying on people.
Yeah, I agree with
because
that.
some people can't turn down that money.
I agree with that, Craig. But again, we as parents are responsible for this. This whole money nonsense, yeah? We do it. Yeah? The moment you turn 16, your mum was waiting, get a job. That is the first thing they want. Pay my rent. That's all that big black people do. Like, I heard,
That's a
big generalization.
huge
It happens so much.
Yeah.
I heard Sin's uncle say the other day.
generalization.
I'll do it with his point.
Sin's uncle said the other day, look, he's got 2 kids, I think it is, and he said they're not leaving this house till they can afford to go there. I don't hear that very often in selling the black house. You know what I mean? It's always get a job and help support this home.
The thing about it is when you live in poverty, yeah, there are certain things that are common amongst black people, white people, Asian people, whatever. If you live in poverty, you haven't got money, and you're looking for money to come in any way, shape, or form. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that is the problem. Like a lot of it is not necessarily just race; it's also about class as well.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
And for me, everybody should be aiming to try and get themselves out of that lower class and into.
But how many people?
But we ain't got this no stepping stone. Like, black people ain't wealthy in this country.
Yeah, but you've got
is that down to us as a community, or is that down to the system?
Oh, it's down to us as a community. Like,
Right.
don't get me wrong.
Exactly.
But I'm just trying to say, from when the button says go for us, those white people have got ahead. Do you understand what I mean? And that's just what it is. I don't want to say those white people like I'm against. It's just what
And
it
the
is.
difference is, like I said, when we make mistakes, after we make mistakes, we ain't got doors being open for us. Do you know what I mean? The doors are closed and you're finished. You've made those mistakes.
And this is why we have to put things in place where, for instance,
Supporting business.
For instance, like the black pound lasts hours within the black community. The Asian pound lasts weeks within the Asian community. Like hours, weeks. Are you done? You done? How can we ever try and anyway, I don't even want to get this into a black, because we're talking about children here, but this is also part of the problem and what they're facing.
All right, let me read a few more comments. We have to wrap up soon as well. Right, JW said it's not balanced what they show on telly.
Exactly.
100% correct.
Exactly.
Carlene said it's so right. Yeah. Eric said, agree, Dwayne. If you don't like it, don't promote it and don't watch it to cut it later. I never even heard of it until I got the message not to watch it about 6 times. It's good. Carlene said, I can't lie. I watched a bit of it and I watched it for the line of work I am trying to get into, but I got mad watching it. Did not watch it again. And this is my thing. There's a thin line, because whilst I am fully with Dwayne on the whole don't watch it, I wasn't at first, because I was like, well, I need to have an awareness of what's going on. If this is going to help and show me, then why shouldn't I watch it?
Now that's exactly my white friend said to me, "Oh, it shows us what's going on." That's why they did. That's why they're viewing. That's how it's been sold.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's how it's been sold. Now, if you're not aware of what is actually being done, what the agenda is, you just see it as an education.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Like I said before we even spoke, and we had a mad, not a mad conversation. We don't argue just all the time. We had a conversation about it. My thing was, no, I'm gonna watch. And then obviously when it was kind of addressed, and then I think afterwards there was a big commotion about the guy who went down there because they promised to show. That's part of my point.
And they didn't do that. You're not wrong.
They didn't
because they've sold the show to him in a way that is gonna show. Yeah, I used to be like this, but I've turned my life around and now I'm doing this.
Yeah.
The fact that they've told him that and they've cut it out like this is my main problem with Channel 5. Like that shouldn't be allowed.
It's deceitful, isn't it?
It's deceitful as well.
It's misleading and it's manipulating.
I don't get it, and call me very fickle, right? So I'm gonna assume that Channel 5 are paying all.
I can only assume.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think people are they just gonna go on there openly like, yeah, I just want to boast about what I'm. To me, I would think, and I would bloody hope that there would be some sort of reason for you to go and do this, because you're basically, as far as I'm concerned, you're selling out your race as well. You're selling out your race and you're dry snitching on yourself, 100%. But what's to stop them just turning up with the police? I don't get it. Like, all right, cool. These are known drug dealers, blah blah blah. This man's demonstrating all these kinds of stuff.
But every single time these shows come on, 3 or 4 of them go to jail after the show. Like, what kind of dumbness is that?
But so once again, the problem with the Channel 5 thing, and yeah, D's saying no one view it, don't watch it. The people that aren't going to watch it are going to be adults. My problem with who's watching it, kids watch that and it's been glorified. So these kids with that are dumb pretty much. They don't know any better. They're seeing this and they're like, yes, like I can do this. Like, wow, it's that easy to make that. I'm gonna do that. Like, it needs to be taken away from them. Forget adults.
Those on the edge as well.
It's the youth that have access to it that are the problem. Yeah. That's who we need to stop from.
I agree.
Adults should be grown enough and mature enough and realise London enough to know this is what happens, and we don't need to see that. But kids don't know any better, and they see this and they think, okay, that's the easy way to do it, and that's what we need to stop them from seeing.
Let me read out a couple of comments. Shout out to Panache. The problem is some of the kids are up to, but unfortunately they rely on the money from the roads in order to pay the bills, which is a big problem in some community. 100%. And Sizer just said real talk. That is real. That is.
And I don't want to come across as judgmental, because that's not what this is about.
Get your lazy.
But like, if that is the case, like for me, I can't accept that in any way, shape or form. Like, you may have the hardest story, but to as a parent, you just want your child to be better than you.
That's what you should.
Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So for you to then be condoning whatever's going out on the road just because you're getting money from it, I can't see how a parent who wants the best for the child is going to do that.
And all they're doing is they're setting up a vicious cycle, because all that's going to happen is their child is going to then have kids, possibly early.
And then how do you tell your child don't do that?
And then it's just going to be the same thing over and over
then
again.
When something happens to their child, they then say, I can't believe this has happened.
Right.
I'm not saying that was a bad impression of a woman who's lost her child. I'm so sorry. I can't believe this has happened.
That sounds Scottish.
No, you say, I lose my child, I might sound Scottish. It is what it is, yeah. I'm not saying this is not marketing. I'm not saying this is all parents, but some parents know what's going on but can't address the situation. And that is true. Carney said, what hood man brings a TV crew to his hood? Dumbass, you know what? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying,
and it's real.
Dry snitching.
It is.
Dry snitching.
I don't get it. And as well, and some of them, their mouth was so twist up. I'm like, bruh, I know that's Andy. You know what I'm saying? No one's there like, yeah, of course that's him, man. That mask can't fool no one. And obviously they tried to do the whole muffled voices and all that. I don't know. It was just a joke to me, man. But listen, we're gonna obviously start wrapping up. Let's get final thoughts. Mr. D, you could go first, man.
All right, parents. I would say, like I said, I'm just gonna repeat myself. put your children first, man. Just really and truly analyze what's best for your child. You know what I mean? Like, if you see him going down a certain route, like, do everything you can to get him out of that environment. Do you know what I mean? Like, provide him with something that is going to take his attention away from the roads or the outside influences. Try, parents, to be a role model to your child as best as you can. By being a role model, I'm not saying you've got to be some superstar. Just aspire to better things. Show that your child that you're trying things, you're going to work, or you're set up a business for yourself, whatever it may be. Children following footsteps.
Listen, raise your kids right. Stop. Prioritize. Put them first before anything else. Don't allow the streets and outside influences to raise your children. You allow that, you'll lose your children. You'll lose them very quickly, and it's a horrible thing to say. But like I said, if your child's mind has already gone, like, by 12, it's very hard to get them back, because the school system and secondary school, like, children, the mentality's gone after that. You're gone?
Is it on?
Continue, dude.
Right. For me, I'm not gonna repeat what I said. I totally agree with what Darren and Rex have said. I think we've got to take responsibility for the children, and I think what we can also do is look at other people's children. Try and help out where you can there. Do you know what I mean? There are many circumstances in your family where a child may just need you to be a role model to them. It doesn't take too much of your time. You might see that child on a weekly basis, and because it's not your child, you're not too fussed about what's really going on. But just take that time and opportunity to help that child if you can. And I think that's where I'll leave it.
Yeah, just from me, it's just it's an echoing of what everyone said already, man. Just take interest, be your child's hero. That was my whole aim when I had kids. I wanted to be my child's hero. I wanted them to look up to me as a superhero and want to follow in my footsteps. And listen, whilst I don't live my life perfect, I try my best to set the best example and show them by example, not just teaching them morals, but showing them by example, living it so that they can see it and follow that example. Yeah, man, just everyone as well who has tuned in, we really appreciate. Like I said, it's a very important show. I know that it's not going to get thousands of likes like all the rest of them, because it's not about relationship, but these are the shows that matter. If you can do us a great favor, share it out. Everyone who's watching, and if you're watching like later on, just give a like, put a comment in. Like, we want to make it as interactive as possible, because communication for this especially is the key. Yeah, man, keep supporting the team, guys, and we will be back soon. Shout out to everyone on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on SoundCloud, YouTube, Snapchat. Catch us all. Yeah, what you said, BBM?
No.
I say right, we're branching out for real. You got old school.
I said
Yeah, send us your pins, innit? Yeah, email. Yeah, grownassmen at gmail.com. Guys, thanks again for tuning in, man. We're out.
Thank you.
Blessings. You clap for myself. Oh, man.
Oh, cool. You said we're still on. Cool, yeah.
He said there's an error.
Is it not charging?
I don't think there was an error. We could be still on.
Yeah, I think we are. If we are still on, guys, yeah, if anybody knows of any institutions or anything that can help in regards to what we've just discussing, then please feel free to put in the group. That's if we are still on. Craig, are we still on?
We're still live.
We're still live, yeah. So share it in the group on Facebook. Any institutions, any classes that you know that are running, that we can share. We're gone. Peace.
Kind of put down still. I'm starting to feel that news.
My back is sweating.
Have you still had the jacket?
Is there error on that? Craig's face is not helping me right now.
Nah, it's just wait. It's still live.
It's live.
God damn. Yeah, man. I really want our children to be. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Craig, you want to switch off the thing?
Not doing it, but.
Say nothing.
Oh man, man said we laugh forever.
I don't know why this thing ain't looking off.
Yeah, it's the last time it didn't knock off till the next day.
Mad thing is that you're still filming, like, you could just put it down.
I really sure a bastard, you know.
People are still watching, bro.
Are they?
Yeah, 13 people are still watching.
So man went to court today, innit? Like, madness. Like.
So you bust case.
Fucking role model, you liar, man.
That's all a front, man. I'm a pimp.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you got these hoes.
I agree.
Yeah, might as well.
No, can I put this thing down?
Nah.
Quick, shut up, man.
Things buffering.
Oh shit, it's still live.
These people ain't even trying to come off.
He was not even trying to come off, man.
Oh shit, it's really live.
Yes, Craig, it's really like.
Should I just lock it off? It's just gonna get lost.
What do you mean lock it off?
Like, basically, what's happening at the moment, guys, seeing as everyone's with us,
It won't stop recording.
it won't stop recording. So basically, if I was to stop it now, whilst you guys have seen the stream and that's great, we could potentially lose the stream
It done this last
forever.
No, but we caught it in the end.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Alright, hold on. Now exposing this is as well.